A very good morning, afternoon, or night. I am Wen Bao, and this is Academic English News. Today, we will bring you a pricing issue affecting students nationwide, the rising cost of living.
From higher food price to increased transportation and accommodation fee, many students are struggling to balance their budget while keeping up with academic demand.
In this report, we will explore the challenges they face, the impact on their education, and what solutions may be on the horizon. Stay tuned.
For introduction, the rising cost of living in Malaysia has strongly affected university students. Prices for essentials like food, transportation, accommodation, and utilities keep increasing, adding to financial pressure beyond tuition fees. Many students have had to adapt by taking part-time jobs, following strict budgets, or cutting down on basic expenses. Unfortunately, this adjustment can affect their well-being, reduce their focus, and lower academic performance. For the background and problem statement, globally inflation has caused sharp increases in basic expenses such as housing, food, and healthcare. In Malaysia, students' average monthly spending is between 201 and 400 ringgit, often exceeding what scholarship or PTPDN loans can cover. Many still rely heavily on family support, which is not always enough.
Because of this, some students are forced to reduce their food intake, delay medical treatment, or sacrifice study time to work part-time. This financial strength is closely linked to stress, anxiety, and poor concentration. In some cases, peer pressure and low financial literacy lead to impulsive spending, making the situation worse. This research have four objectives, which are to examine how rising living costs influence students' spending habits and lifestyle change, identify the areas where they feel the most financial strain, such as accommodation, food, and transport. Another objective are explore their perception of the issue and see how demographic factors such as age, gender, and family income affect their coping strategies.
Now we will present about the literature review. First is rising costs and lifestyle change. Rising living costs are forcing students to cut back on essential expenses. For example, badminton cost. The shuttlecock price increased up to 117 ringgit per tube, and plus the court fee will let the student cannot untenable. And this means without sport and social activity which can indirectly affect mental well-being and academic pressure. Not only that, many students also facing food insecurity. By the previous study, 62.8% students will keep meals and relies on cheap instant food, and it will affect the health and the performance to the student.
So I will present about an accommodation and transportation. Accommodation near campus is getting more expensive, especially in city centers. Out of town students often choose overcrowded housing or live further away to save rent. But this means longer commutes, higher fuel costs, and more fatigue due to traffic congestion. This factor can reduce focus and attendance, increase the total cost of living despite cheaper rent.
Next is the financial literacy and demographic factor. Many students lack financial literacy, poor budgeting and planning, or saving skills lead to bad spending habits. Not only that, Many students attracted by social media ads. Social media advertising strongly influence purchaser, encouraging unnecessary spending despite low or no income. Next is the demographic factor matter. A previous study shows that females more likely to skip meals. Over 80% from low income, which is B40 families. That's lead to higher stress and reliance on assistance. The study also showed that senior students manage better than first-year students.
For our research, we apply a mixed method approach, combining both quantitative and qualitative method. Quantitative method we conducted by distributing questionnaire. Qualitative we conducted by interviewing 5 students. Total 51 respondents respond our questionnaire. The respondent mostly is the male, which is 60.8% for male and 39.2% for female. Most of the respondents is around 20 to 22 years old. And the respondent mostly is the year 2 student. Most of the student family income is below 4,000. Half of the respondents having financial support. Mostly, the financial support is in the form of Yayasan Sarawak and PTPTN loan. And 82.4% of the respondents agree that cost of living increased their overall monthly expenses. Most of the respondents take action to respond the increased living costs by reducing spending on food and transportation and avoid buying new clothes and shoes. Tuition fee and accommodation fee is the most stressful cost for the student. And there is only some students never often to track their expenses. Most of the respondents are aware of the factor contributing to the rise in living costs in Malaysia. Most of the students think the rising cost is very serious and serious. This is the 5 students that we interviewed.
As a student, rising cost of living has definitely made me more careful with my spending. I used to eat out more often, but now I mostly cook at home to save money. I also cut back on buying non-essential items like snacks or new clothes.
Because price keeping going up, I've had to cut down on eating out and buy cheaper groceries. I also try to walk more instead of using Grab or public transport for short distance.
For me, currently I will spend less on unnecessary things such as buying new clothes. Besides that, I will also cook at home instead of eating outside, since the prices are going up.
Food and accommodation.
Sometimes I even have to skip meals or reduce my food portions just to make sure I have enough money left for rent.
Because the food prices are getting higher right now, and the rental fee and electrical fee for me is the most expensive too, due to I did not get some part-time job or extra income.
In my opinion, I feel that the most financial pressure in my spending is food.
Honestly, it's stressful.
It's becoming harder for students and low-income families to afford basic needs. I hope the government can take more action to control inflation.
I feel like I'm constantly worrying about money instead of focusing fully on my studies.
I think nowadays the Malaysian living cost is more better than after pandemic COVID economy. It is because it was recovered back nowadays, and I think it will be more better after this with the government help, and I also hope that the living cost in Malaysia can be controlled. I'm coped by setting a budget every month, and I also try to find part-time work job and save any extra money I get. Usually I will manage my saving to avoid extra wasted to buy something that I don't need. I'm usually coped with financial stress and manage my expenses with using an app, and I will recording all the expenses that I have spent.
I will plan to spend around 300 ringgit each month for food, beverages, and other necessary things. I will try to keep it simple. If I can save, I will save, and only spend on what is necessary.
Yes, my background made it harder actually because my family does not have a high income, so I need to work harder to support myself.
My family's income is limited and they can't save me a lot of money each month. I have to really rely more on scholarships, part-time jobs, and careful budgeting compared to some of my friends who get more support from home.
I come in from a middle-income family. I think I am big three. My parents support me, but I still need to work part-time to cover extra costs.
I think the financial help would be the most useful support. For example, this year the Sarawak government have gave 1,200 ringgit to the Sarawakian students, which really helped reduce my burden.
I think more financial aid or subsidies from the university or government would help, like free meals, lower fees, or transport discount would really make a difference for us.
Subsidies, meals on campus, affordable student housing, and more flexible part-time job opportunities would really help.
So in this part, I will be discussing the financial challenge faced by university students based on our research finding. So, our research found that the rising cost of living is really affecting university students. More than 80% said their monthly expenses have gone up, and a lot of them are spending less on things like clothes, food, and entertainment. The main pressure comes from tuition fees, accommodation, and transportation. What is interesting is that while most students, about 86%, understand why costs have increased, less than half feel it has a really severe impact. To cope, many are trying to budget better, but they are also asking for more financial aid and affordable housing. Overall, it is clear that while students are making changes on their own, they still need strong support from institutions and better financial education to get through this challenge.
In addition to the questionnaire, we also conducted interviews with 5 randomly selected university students using 6 prepared questions. The interview results were very consistent with the survey finding. Most participants mentioned food and accommodation as their main sources of financial stress. Food price has risen significantly, so some students cook at home or reduce meal portion to save money. Accommodation near campus has become more expensive, leading students to choose on-campus dormitories or cheaper housing further away. To cope, many rely on part-time jobs, scholarships, or government assistance such as the 1,200 ringgit allowance from the Sarawak state government. Common strategies include making monthly budget, looking for student discount, sharing expenses with friends, and cutting unnecessary costs.
Emotionally, many students express feelings of stress and anxiety, saying that financial pressures may harm their academic focus and overall quality of life. Participants suggest that universities could help by providing affordable on-campus dining, more economical students dormitories, and financial aid that adjust with inflation. They also recommended organizing financial management workshops to teach students practical budgeting skills. In conclusion, both the questionnaire and interview findings highlights that tuition fees, accommodation, and food costs are the top financial stresses. While students are adapting their lifestyle, stronger institutional support and financial education are essential to help them manage their challenges more effectively.
So I will present the conclusion. So the results show that over 80% of respondents believe the rising cost of living has significantly increased their financial burden. The main sources are high tuition fees, accommodation costs, and essential living expenses. To cope, many students have cut back on food, clothing, and leisure activities. So long-term financial stress can affect academic performance, mental health, and social life, especially for students from modest income families who support themselves. Over half of students rarely track their spending, showing a lack of financial management skills.
Based on these findings, we recommend 4 actions. Increase financial aid. Governments, schools, and private organizations should provide more support channels for students in need. Provide affordable housing. Partner with landlords to reduce rent and transport costs. Enhance financial literacy. Organize workshops and campaigns to raise awareness of cost management. Introduce subsidies meal plans. Offer affordable food options or meal subsidies to reduce living expenses. Addressing these issues requires joint efforts from school, government bodies, and the wider community to ensure students can focus on their studies without overwhelming financial stress.
For Academic English News, I am Wember Pao. Thank you for your watching.